Multiverse will change you forever. I'm ready. Your reckoning is long overdue.
You have no idea what happens now.
It's one of the best Marvel movies ever. Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange, rated PG-13, in theaters now.
Boom, there you go. That was a quick little clip of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I had a look. What is wrong with me? It's Kuya P, NRW. You see on the screen, my partner, my homie, Heather Hertz from New Release Wednesday. We are here talking about Doctor Strange as I mess up my opener in a strange way. I am a strange, so at least I can say that. I am Patrick Strange. How are you today, Heather?
I am okay. I realize that I did something wrong, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But how about you? How are you doing?
Apparently, I'm strange today. I'm one of the Stranger Things. So, like, I think would have been too obvious if I wore Doctor Strange. But I am Strange. That is my real last name. And I'm wearing a Stranger Things sweater. And we're talking about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which I'm sure is driving everybody crazy because I'm making no sense right now. I'm mad, y'all. But not mad about this film. We're going to talk about this film. We're going to give our review of Multiverse of Madness. We both had the pleasure of finally watching this epic part of the ongoing Marvel Cinematic franchise. And we're ready to talk about it. We've been saving it for this, y'all. So you're going to see two nerds geek out on this because it's what we do. It's what we do. We love it. So I'm gonna throw it over to Heather to just have me be silent for a bit so I can get my thoughts together. She's gonna break up the stories. I will talk about the characters and then we'll get together in our complete review. So let's kick it off to Heather.
Okay, so we are coming right off of basically the collapse of the multiverse, all the dimensions just falling in on themselves on the universe of 616. Which during the film has been confirmed that even though we have known as outsiders it is 616, they finally defined 616 within the film. So we see the realities of the 616 universe just collapsing. This, of course, happened right at the point of Spider-Man No Way Home, where all of the Spider-Verse kind of broke into pieces. We had Wanda breaking open the multiverse, the actual Multiverse of Madness, even though we didn't quite know it yet at the end of WandaVision. And we also had Loki, female Loki, killing Kang at the end of Loki season 1. And with that being said, we had just this implosion of everything shattering, everything breaking, everything falling apart, and it ending up at a point right when America Chavez gets thrown into our universe from another universe, and another Doctor Strange, Captain America Doctor Strange. They were getting attacked, and all of a sudden she is here now. This version at this point, America is still very young. In her powers, she thinks she doesn't know how to control her magic yet, her powers yet. And she meets up, of course, right in the middle of New York, because everything has to fucking happen in New York, with Doctor Strange, who helps defeat a monster in one of the most Sam Raimi ways ever. We'll get into it, but still, fucking Sam Raimi. And they find themselves going into on this little path of who wants to. Someone's trying to have that. Speaking of not able to talk, someone's trying to kill her, and we're trying to figure out who. That brings in Wanda. Things occur, and they find themselves basically floating through the multiverse. They meet some very interesting doppelgangers, and through that. We'll get to the ending at during our review, but that's kind of how we're going, is we are fighting our way through the multiverse with Doctor Strange and America Chavez. Yeah, that's it. I'm just go there. So is that a good synopsis?
All right, I guess we'll go with that.
We're going to talk about the little itty bitty bits. They fight off against the baddie In a rather cliche kind of way, America Chavez takes control of her powers, owns her powers, and teaches us. Actually, the ending was one of the most comic book endings of any of the films so far. Taught a very important moral. There was a moral and a lesson at the end of the film. And Doctor Strange finds himself playing with dark magic. And
we're gonna talk about the characters at the end, or we'll save that for.
No, you don't do the characters now. I was just trying to get the synopsis right, and I failed miserably.
Okay, it's all good. I was just getting my notes together too on this side, so let's rock and roll with it. Benedict Cumberbatch is back as our lovable Doctor Stephen Strange. I would say he is. Would you say he's your definitive Doctor Strange, even though we really haven't had anybody else in the role yet?
No. But you said his name wrong. It is Benedict Cumberbatch. I learned that on TikTok.
Okay. I know it changes, right? So
favorite.
I'm sorry. Not staying up to speed on it.
I love listening to people say his name wrong. It's I think he does too. I think he both hates it and loves it, but it's just great.
So Benedong Crumb Snatchers is Dr. Stephen Strange. I think clearly again defining this role. I'm good with it. I can't think of anybody off top right now, but I think he's doing great in the role, and he shines again once more. Elizabeth Olsen is back as Wanda Maximoff. Amazing, again, brilliant. Initially when it was first cast way back when, I don't know if I exactly saw her as Wanda, but she is an amazing actress.
She grew and became the role entirely. So
yeah, and I'm happy they made her get rid of the accent, which they also kind of had it happen in the storyline as well. They kind of explained that away. So definitely grew and gave us a lot more with that character. So shout out to Elizabeth Olsen. Chiwetel Ejiofor back as Baron Mordo. This is an alternate universe Baron Mordo though, y'all. So the Baron Mordo that we know in our 616 still has yet to be seen since that first Doctor Strange. Wouldn't you say, Heather?
Yeah, he just magically disappeared after he started taking away everyone's magic.
Yeah. So
Strange even makes a comment about how he went after him, and we're like, we've never seen that happen. So sure.
We need that explanation. That's still a lingering plot line that has to be solved for us in the 616. So what did you think of I'm sorry, I'm just gonna kind of make some real quick segments. What did you think of this version of Baron Mordo in the film?
Honestly, one of the things that I really liked about the film in general, and I'm sorry that I'm getting straight into the review, is the fact that so many of the characters had just very small, minor differences. And Mordo is a perfect example. The moment you hit his button, he was the exact same Mordo that was in our universe. It was, I loved how they kept it pretty standard. In theory, a new universe. So if you look at it from a quote unquote real life scientific perspective, every multiverse is defined by a decision. So in theory, if I said yes to a question versus no to a question, all of a sudden we're separating into two universes, but we're still technically the same Heather. It's just slightly different things have happened now and has developed differently. And it really, I think a lot of that showed up here. It's not too much different. It's still clearly Mordo. And it was great. It was a great version of him.
Yeah, I give you the red light on that one. You'd have to watch the film to understand that one. Anyway, Benedict Wong is back as Wong, which I still love that Benedict Wong is Wong. Who else could be Wong but Benedict Wong? So again, gets a little bit more moments to shine here. I was really happy. Towards like about the 75% point, I was a little bit nervous and worried. I was like, no, you didn't. I was about to get real upset, but they made it happen later on at the end of the film. I'm sure Heather knows what I'm talking about. And you know what are we talking about? We're spoilers.
They make us think, so it's fine. But
they make us think they killed him or Wanda killed him, but he actually survived the being thrown off the cliff. And but I was mad.
I was like big mad. Times, right? I'm gonna say it like 15 times. God damn it, Sam Raimi. But it's one of I will say this. So if anyone knows any of Benedict Wong's filmography in general, he has been in well more than one type of comic book thing in his very, very amazing and diverse career. And so I kind of that last comment he made about how he wants to know what the different versions of himself in other worlds are. I couldn't think of him as Wong in different universes. I just pictured him as his other comic book roles. And I'm like, it's a joke for comic fans.
I feel that. Oh man. Oh, and also that moment too. What did you? I like how they brought it back from the opening comment. You bow to the Sorcerer Supreme. I like that they brought that right back. I was like, you don't leave us just there, and then so they made that happen at the end, which was good. So shout out to them on that. I'm gonna brutalize this name. Is it Chiwetel Gomez for America, the actress that plays America Chavez? Do you know how to pronounce it, Heather?
No, I think I know. I didn't know.
Not even gonna try. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna listen to Google. Let's Google it.
Okay.
This because you know what? We butcher names enough. Let's see if I can get Google to say it out loud. Hold on.
All right. Xochitl Gomez. Shout out to her. I thought she was great. You've seen her on The Babysitter's Club on Netflix, Hentified on Netflix, Shadow Wolves. I'm taking a look at her IMDb right now. So she's been acting since 2016. I would say this is, her largest film thus far, being involved with this, Marvel Disney franchise. So shout out to her. I thought she did a great job. It was what we needed for the role. I will say though, because I am a fan of the comic books character and knowing that the character has not just Hispanic roots, she has Afro-Latinic roots that, I wish she was maybe a little bit darker skinned. No disrespect at all to, I'm going to brutalize her name again, Chiwetel Gomez. She was fantastic, but just from a character's perspective, if we're matching up, because again, well, I'll just be straight up. People of darker complexion don't get enough screen time or representation in film, straight up. And this is a character that has Afro-Latino roots. I would have liked to see an Afro-Latino actor in that, but Gomez ate it up. She did her part with amazeballs, and I think she's fantastic. Definitely gave a lot to the role. But also, I will also say on a character standpoint, and this is again no fault of her own, on a writing standpoint, she is such a strong and very such a huge rich history in the comic books, and I think you can speak more to that than I can, Heather. But just there's just a lot of fandom, and there's just a lot of richness to her character that I think they kind of stripped away. She was more of like a plot device to get from point A to point B in this film. That for obvious reasons of what this film is, but I think overall, it's at least an initial setup, and hopefully down the line, we'll see a lot more of her with the possible Young Avengers and some other character explorations, and the nuggets that her parents are still out there somewhere. So hopefully we'll get that payoff later on. You want any comments on America Chavez, Heather? I'm just going to say the character's name with mad love and mad respect to the actress.
Miss Gomez, because she was adorable, and I'm not going to butcher her name. I'm a white American. I fuck everything up. So I'm just going to be polite and say Miss Gomez. But so I'm going to be a little bit brutal, and I apologize, because child actors are brutalized in criticism on its own. But I'm actually going to say that I am excited to see her progress and her get better as she grows in with this role. I did see some weaknesses in her acting, and it kind of pulled me out of the moment sometimes. But it doesn't mean that she was bad. I loved her in the character. I loved her in the role. And I very much look forward to her taking this role and growing as the character and as an actress. And so I am excited to see her progress. And I'm excited to see America in general in the series. Like I'm pretty sure, I think I was crying when they showed her the back of her jacket in the first trailer, whatever. And very excited that she's here. Very excited. I do agree she was more of a plot device. That I'm sure we'll get into the ending in a little bit. But I'm excited to see where she's going to go. I'm excited to see if they're going to do a what if with her as Captain America, because not only a white dude carries the shield, but it's I feel really awful for saying that. She was adorable. I absolutely loved her. I think she will absolutely take this role and destroy it. We just need her to grow a little bit more in her talents, and she will be an amazing America.
I completely agree. I'm with you. I didn't break that aspect of it down, but I can agree with you as well on that regard. I also have to say, with this being like an introduction for people that may not have seen her appearances in the comic books, but she also made appearances in the cartoon series. And if you're not familiar with that, with this being her first kind of like appearance for a lot of people, I know people are excited. I'll say specifically, for my family, my daughter is aware of it because she knows about the comic books. She's seen the cartoons and watching all that. But we also today, as of this recording, I took my daughter and her friend to see the film along with my wife. And her friend that came along is LGBTQ, and he wasn't familiar with the character at all, and absolutely fell in love with America Chavez, and it just warmed my heart. And when they both saw the pride flag on her jacket in the pin, they were loving it, and they're like, "Both, did you see that?" And I just adored that so much. I'm starting to feel it right now, but just that means a lot. And then funny thing, after we got done, they were chatting about their favorite moments, and they love America Chavez. He especially loves America Chavez. I then took him over to the comic book store because today, as of this recording, it's also Free Comic Book Day. He wanted this America Chavez graphic novel, and I bought it for him. And he's, now going to be reading all up on her adventures. And that just warms my heart. And I just thought it was beautiful. But just that introduction. And I just hope that, we saw some of that LGBT, because we saw her parents, her moms, that we get more of that, because she is such a strong representative of that within the Marvel universe. And so I hope that carries through to the cinematic universe as well. So that was delight. I know you'd have been smiling too, Heather, if you saw that. I was very excited.
She is one of the youngest female gay characters in Marvel as a whole. So this is a projection to Marvel, to Disney. Please do not limit America's incredible LGBTQIA representation to just her parents. She is gay, and she has wonderful and amazing and loving relationships herself. So embrace, love,
yes,
pride forever. So
didn't she have a relationship with Kate Bishop in the comic book?
There were inklings. There were suggestions.
So, well, because we do have a Kate Bishop, that's where I'm kind of hoping, like, when they build this Young Avengers team up, maybe,
there's gonna, I don't care what Feige says, they're going to Young Avengers.
Let's go.
There's no way they're not.
Yeah. So that was exciting. So again, so Miss Gomez, I'm not going to brutalize your first name. Hope we see more of you as you continue within the MCU. Continuing on with our list, Rachel McAdams is back as Dr. Christine Palmer. I wasn't sure we were going to see much because she was kind of like she had a lot more meat in this particular film, and meant a lot to the story, which carried a lot of this film through as well. So very significant. I was quite surprised that we had more of this, and also from where it's now going. Spoiler alert! Again, because we now are going to get Clea. It was kind of a good farewell, I would say, for Christine's character. If this is going to be the farewell, what would you say on that, Heather?
So I could agree, and that's I'm not as well aware of Clea as I should be. I think I've been telling people that she has been his daughter in some universes. She has been his wife in some universes. So I apologize. Yes, I do think this is a great way of switching between. We have a past and we have now a future, but at the same time, God damn it, Rachel deserved her time to come back and close out her role. So thank you for bringing her back.
Heck yeah. And give her some meat too while we're at it, right? So that was I didn't know we gave as much, and so that was pretty sweet. And continuing on to some bigger names that you're not going to see on the IMDb because they didn't want to spoil anything. Although if you were on Twitter or YouTube as of this week when it was starting to premiere all around the world, you couldn't go on there because a-holes were spoiling. But and So we're not going to get into that. Again, this is going to be a spoiler review. Some other characters that have showed up. We had Julian Hillard and Jet Klein, aka Billy and Tommy, that we saw in Wanda Vision. They were back here and actually played a significant part with all of this because really this is Doctor Strange, but this was a Wanda Scarlet Witch film through and through. And
Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right, exactly. And so it was very important to have these characters back because, again, we saw what WandaVision was all about. And then you knew this was going to play a role and you knew she had the Darkhold and it made sense. But I'll get into those aspects when we get into the review of kind of feelings I feel on that. But Julian Hillard and Jet Klein are back as Billy and Tommy. Also, who do we see? We have Michael Stuhlbarg as Dr. Nick West. He was at the wedding at the earlier part of the film. We know that character. If you're not familiar, if you don't recall from the very first film, he was the doctor that worked on Stephen Strange when he got into the accident, which made him Doctor Strange. And well, didn't make him, but set him on his quest to then become Doctor Strange. That was rather interesting to see that character back. And he got
a headline shout out in the credits. That was the weirdest part. He had 30 seconds in the film and he got a picture and credit scene. But to be fair, R.I.P. felines. R.I.P. to your 3 cats, Dr. West.
Yeah, it was interesting. Just like you said, it was so minor, but then what was the importance? I don't know if that was like something to make us nerds like research and like really look into that.
No, it's called top billing.
So there you go. All right, continuing on. Also surprises that, again, we didn't know until you finally watched it. Haley Atwell, Captain Carter, was there and gone because everyone dies.
Fuck you, Sam Raimi.
Haley Atwell was back as Captain Carter. We had Josh Brolin, although didn't speak at all. So I wouldn't really say he was there. He was dead on the ground.
Absolutely there.
What do you mean?
Wait, Brolin. Wait. No. Who is
Josh Brolin? Thanos.
Oh, he was mentioned. Really? He was tagged?
Yeah, somebody tagged him. I'm looking on this one website where I'm talking about all this. But yeah, they tagged him. But I'm like, dude it was a CGI Thanos dead on the ground. So, okay, whatever. Anson Mount. Exactly. We'll move right past that, Heather. Anson Mount, Black Bolt. We actually saw him in the Inhumans TV series and they kept the casting. Looked different though. Go ahead, Heather.
Yes, he looked much better.
Yeah.
A+ to Marvel for keeping the casting.
I will say that. Yeah.
Continuity, my friends.
Yes. So, they went with it. Looked a lot different. My wife was like, really? That was the same guy? Yeah, it's same.
That's what happens when Disney goes, oh shit, we fucked up.
Lashana Lynch, Captain Marvel. You saw her in the very first Captain Marvel. But in this universe, even in this generation, she's at Captain Marvel for there.
Maria.
Yes, Maria Rambeau, who is, Spectrum's mom, Monica Rambeau. So there we go. She was here. And John Krasinski, Reed Richards.
That one, people were being quiet about that. They didn't even show him on the red carpet.
What did you think of that one?
I don't know. I couldn't hear anything. The audience was screaming so loudly.
People were losing their minds. Yeah. A lot of people were losing their minds. I'm mixed on that, but we'll save that for later. We'll save that when we get into our review. So John Krasinski, Reed Richards was there. And then to me, one of the biggest ones by far. And I love that we got a little bit of the animated theme song right before he came through. Patrick Stewart as Professor Charles Xavier. Heather, I see you. Heather's making motions. You can't see her right now. I'm gonna move away. Talk. Say something so the camera shifts to you. They can't see her. There you are.
Did it really go black because I wasn't saying anything?
All the emotions were on Heather's face. You didn't see it.
It happened. It was for a minute there. Every 90s child felt like a 90s child again. It was just, we were singing the song, even though there are no words. We were singing it out loud.
It was like, what? Oh my God. No.
And there were just as many people clapping in the credits when that showed up as the 97 edition of the song showed up on the credits. People were like, yes, that is like, it's like if this movie could have been complete trash. It wasn't, but could have been complete trash. And that 1.5 seconds of theme song made up for everything else.
It was definite fan service. I was quite pleased. And then I also have to note the fact that we got the yellow, what do you call it? What do you call his
it's a hover chair.
Wheelchair, but it's not really a wheelchair.
No, it's hover chair. I would say
it's hover chair. We got at least a yellow hover chair, which is semi-comic, oriented. And and semi-comic and the animated, which we love, we got that.
There is definitely a reason that X-Men 93 came back in comic book form. Issue number 3 comes out next month.
Hey, yes. So there we go. Charles Xavier is there. Patrick Stewart, and then as we kind of half mentioned earlier, Clea, played by Charlize Theron, is one of our big. That
was the big one.
Endings. It was a mid-credit ending that we got, which was really great to see. So that is just telling you what we're going to see further on because of the incursion event that occurred within this film. And to round it out, Ross Marquand is Ultron. I guess he was one of the Ultron robots.
Yeah, they used his I think they just used the replication of his voice, or he came in for like a single, because Ultron said like 3 lines.
Okay, so they did say, the robots did say something? Yeah, they did say something. Okay.
It's like go in and head over that way, or some little thing like that.
So shout out to him again. Ross Marquand replaced what's his name, James Spader, who initially performed that role. And of course, if you are a Raimi fan, Raimi can not have this guy in his film. Bruce Campbell is the Pizza Papa and gave us our last credits scene.
The most important role in the film.
The King.
Was played by none other than himself, Bruce Campbell.
So boom, there you go. Those are all the actors, characters within Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, aka Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
This is like Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah. Boom. So let's dig into this. Like, did you have a favorite? Let's go with the negative first. Least favorite moments. Let's start with negatives first.
Okay, let's start with negatives. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with this film. I didn't see many negatives. It was a little bit fast-paced. It did seem a little bit forced. Some of the acting wasn't phenomenal, but at the same time, that's kind of what this felt like it was supposed to be. So a lot of the negatives are kind of outweighed by, well, this very clearly felt like a midpoint film. We had to get Wanda from, the goodness that we saw. We needed her to accept her powers. And of course, now we know, we've said it, she was the villain the entire time in this film, which, by the way, A+ to Marvel for making people who thought she was going to be the villain from the very beginning and gave us trailers that made us think that she wasn't going to be. So A+ to Marvel for totally tricking all of us. But she has to get from the goodness in WandaVision 1 to wherever she's going to go into. We needed Doctor Strange to get where he is to, he needs to get to the power level that he needs to be. America Chavez needed to be introduced in some way and learn that she can control her powers. Like, I felt it was very two towers for me, like Lord of the Rings. There were just so much of it that wasn't great, but it needed to happen. So, me.
I would agree with that comparison. You're right. We got to get from point A to point C. So if this was the point B to get to point C, then I'm with you on that. Yeah, there's a lot in this film. Even after having seen it a couple times now, it's still a lot, still need to check it out more. There was nuggets, you always, after repeated viewing, where you catch certain things. But again, overall, was I entertained? Yes. Were there certain things that I wish happened or were done differently? Yes. But overall, am I okay with the choices they made? Yes. So, but I would say, since I said we're going to start off with like just some negative things, as I kind of half mentioned earlier, in regards to America Chavez's character, again, great young actress, that could improve and hopefully make it her role. In casting, I would have preferred an Afro-Latina casting decision, being that, again, there's not enough of that representation on screen, but that has nothing to do with the amazing actress that they did cast. And that's no fault of her own. But I would have liked to have seen that, especially how important that character is for representation and all that. And then with that being said, in regards to the LGBTQ element, I'm happy we at least got the pin on there. We saw the moms there, but I would like to have it, if she forms relationships with other people, we're building out a Young Avengers. Let's see some of that, because we love, what I'm saying? Let characters love, we form relationships. If you're going to give somebody a love interest or something, let her have a love interest. Let's see that shine. So that's a little kind of nitpicky thing there. Wanda's such a rich character now, and especially the arcs that we've carried her through. Did what they do with Wanda characters make sense? Yes.
It was a little cliche. There was,
but
I think you brought that up at the beginning when we were first talking about this. There was, there are cliche bits to every comic book. There are cliche bits to every comic book film. At least she didn't get fridged. At least she did not get fridged. Or someone else did not get fridged. Well, no, in a weird they killed off her kids to make her get to a point. So she was kind of fridged.
From WandaVision to this. Yeah. So, so it's just like, it makes sense, after what she experienced and encountered, for her to do what she did in this film. And after she kills and slaughters everybody, again, spoiler alerts, in this other universe, there was no way she was going to come back from that. When she murders all of these heroes in that different universe or whatever, universe stuff is crazy, there's no taking it back. But they did give her redemption where she did destroy all the Darkholds at the very end, as mentioned. She sacrificed herself to make things right, and destroyed all the Darkholds, so that wouldn't be something to deal with in the future. But I don't know. I just it's sad to see her go, because they built this great character. Well, this version, the 6-1, wouldn't you say that the 6-1 version, if she didn't commit suicide just now, you don't think she killed herself?
No, I absolutely do not think she killed herself. I think she poofed away. I think that's what that red light was. And that's why I thought that was the red light going out for the last time. That's how I took it. Not that she was using it to leave, but that that's the last good hurrah. I do not believe that the other version of Wanda or any other version is going to be, unless they finally use it as, all right. I'm going to go, hold on. I'm going to take a step to the side. I'm going to walk.
All right, let's go. We're getting real nerdy now. Let's go.
Okay. So in House of M, we're going to go deep. We're going to go talk about House of M, because way back in the day, when Quicksilver, when her twin brother died, her twin brother, what am I thinking? Oh my God. When her brother dies, one of the things that she does is she uses her powers of chaos to completely rewrite a universe that she can control and manipulate. That was kind of the very base levels of House of M, and how stories like Disassembled came about. It's Wanda accepting her abilities, accepting that she is the strongest. And yes, I am sorry, dude bros, she is the strongest character in the multiverse. That's just I think they did a hierarchy, and I think she's literally the strongest in all of comics. But anyway, I digress. One of the big storylines is that she rewrites time so that she can have what she wants, what she loves, what she cares about, and those around her are safe. I think that I have brought back that original opinion that something is going to happen in which she is using her abilities to change and do what she wants. Maybe not in such a negative way as we see here. She's not going to use the Darkhold's powers anymore, but she has learned enough about her chaotic abilities that she can go, you know what? I can bring back my life. And with that, we get the X-Men. We're just going to get a walk-in of Magneto going, hey, that's my kid. And she's going to be like, oh shit, Dad? But it's going to be the other version of her dad. If that made any sense.
No, it makes sense, but I don't know. I feel,
Tell me a different
again,
way.
from all the archetypes that I think everything that you mentioned is what they took from to create the story that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this was the write-off of that character. I think this is the last.
We have WandaVision 2 coming.
But maybe that's going to follow this alternate version that we just saw that left off that is happy with the kids. I think this Wanda 616 is now gone. At least this version, There's the other universes, which can give us that.
So the other thing that my husband actually brought up is he's like, who do you think happened to the other Darkholds? And my original thought was when she destroyed the real version of the Darkhold, it destroyed the copies. Like that's what I think. But Strange does make the comment that I guess she destroyed them all. Like that shouldn't have happened. So something else is going on. I don't think she is dead. No part of me thinks she is dead of 616, Wanda.
I don't know. If it happens, then I'm going to give you all the props. But I feel this was the write-off.
Bring X-Men
it just
back
makes
with
sense.
Wanda fucking up. Bring X-Men to the 616 with Wanda fucking up. That's what I foresee.
If that happens, I'm going to give you all the love, all the props on that. Because I'm curious how that introduction is going to happen.
So.
And that could make sense if that's how that introduction is going to happen. But I think this was the salute. But, I would be happily surprised. And for you as a friend, I'm going to give you all, again, your props if that's how it happens. But I think, again, like from my perspective, like, as you said, they took that as the inspiration for what they did with this. What she did with Westview, the town that she did and manipulated and all this, and then how she wrote off, she killed a ton of people and then she made the ultimate sacrifice. But it hurts though, because again, with what and that's what's my thing is, like, such a great character. I feel again, back to what we said earlier, it felt cliched with this write-off. Like I wanted a better ending for her, but because we can understand it, we understand that hurts, but it makes sense, that she went even deeper into the feelings that she did, and that's why she did what she did in this film and killed a bunch of people in the process. But yeah, so that I guess is a little bit of a negative for me. I just felt it was too easy, and there's a lot going on, but overall, and like you said, there's certain nitpicking things that we can do, and there's a lot of people that did it online, but overall it was an entertaining film, and a very Raimi film as well. And I would say Raimi in the sense, again, Raimi is a negative and a positive for me. I don't know if it is for Heather. So those had its elements. It's like, it's art, man. And all artists, not every artist is going to please you in every way. And so, God love him, man. Raimi did his thing. He got it. He got the opportunity to do his thing. I didn't like the musical battle too much. At first
they
it was
got
okay.
To do the Fantasia bit. Come on now.
It was, I don't know. It kind of threw me off a little bit. It was interesting, but then I think it went two chords too long.
Go a little too long.
It went another chord too long.
Okay. Okay, dad joke. Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things that I had with it, but again, I was entertained, and I don't want to nitpick it to death. But
one of the big complaints, and I can kind of see this. I actually have a very good friend who he is deeply entrenched in Marvel. Getting him to read DC at all is like it's easier to rip out teeth from an elephant than it is to rip out to get him to just look at a DC book. And he was just like, I think I'm going to stop with Marvel for a little. I need to pause. And I was just like, why? And he goes, and this has actually been a very common complaint. How they brought in these characters, like they brought in Captain Carter, they brought back Professor X, they brought in Fox Reed Richards. And then literally in less than 15 minutes, these characters that many people loved, it does not matter what you think of Fantastic Four, you loved that casting because people wanted him back. So with that being said, he was just like, I can't do it after that. And you know what? That's a fair complaint. But at the same time, some of these things you could clearly see that they did on purpose. We need to move the fuck on. And a big example is Patrick Stewart. I am a huge Patrick Stewart fan. I have seen him in, all recorded, but I have seen him in many a Shakespeare play. I am literally tattooed, I can't even put it, literally tattooed with Star Trek things. And he was my childhood. I was ecstatic when he was cast as Prof X, but we need to move on to let other things happen to see these stories progress. And so it was very clear that some of these characters, they're like, we can really, really, really want Maria to be back, but guess what? She's dead. So let's take this character, let's give her this opportunity to have her be Captain Marvel. Let's do it. We want to have Inhumans. We want Medusa. This one. Want Medusa. And how do we do that? Let's kill off Black Bolt with a fucking aneurysm. Holy fuck, that was bad.
That was dope as fuck. We didn't get to all those deaths yet, but where's your mouth?
But for us to get for us to move forward and be like, and for the mouse to be like, we screwed up and we know that y'all want these characters. Let's kill off the bad things. Let's kill off the characters that you can't get away from, so that we can make new stories. So like, it's some of these small things that we have issues with that people are taking too far. And it's like, okay, but if you take a step back, maybe some of them, Wanda's clichéness was a little bit much, but there are some things that people are nitpicking that it was done on purpose. And you can tell if it's like, okay, the version of Professor X that we loved, he is dead. Let's move forward. Like, kind of thing. So,
all right, yeah.
Sorry, soapbox.
No, I love it. That's what we're in this review portion now, yo. So that actually reminded me of two things that, since we're still on the negative side, we didn't get to positives yet. Mm-hmm. And again, we still have to talk about those character introductions and how they then quickly fell through the insanity of Wanda. But Illuminati. And again, this is alternate universe, so they don't all have to be there. But the fact of, if we're having Illuminati, maybe they're saving this again because for other films, but they could have kind of half did it here still, though, because it is an alternate universe. But we know who makes up the Illuminati. I was expecting like a Namor. Maybe they're waiting for
fucking fish in a goddamn Speedo. Where is my fish?
Exactly. And then for obvious reasons, we know that Chadwick is passed, but Black Panther is a part of the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. The key significant members of the Illuminati. And so that just kind of, again, maybe I think obvious understanding he would have been there if he was alive. They would have had him there with that. But again, this is an alternate universe. You could have put somebody else in, and maybe that could have been your tester. Because again, I'm one of the people that thinks he needs to be recast. All the love and respect to Chadwick Boseman, but T'Challa is so strong of a character that he should still be living. I don't know if you and I have ever talked on and where you fall on the recasting of T'Challa.
We chatted on it, yeah. And I'm one of those people that's 50-50, where it's I think Boseman just took the character and made it his own. It's going to be hard, and once again, it also might have been a good idea to do a fucking Luke Skywalker CGI so that. And I love you, Chadwick Boseman, and I do think it would be in many ways disrespectful, but at the same time, one of the best ways to get us to move on is for us to see that version. No, but at the same time, that would have been so bad for audiences.
Yeah, but I see that too. I see what you're saying with that. Yeah.
We need to see an end point for his version for us to be like, okay, here's a new one, especially since and I'm going to totally forget her name. What's her face? Who plays Sherry's just kind of turned into a little
Lupita?
Yeah. She's just turned kind of into a little whiny twat. And no, she's not toxic. Well, no, she's sharing false science to little girls. So yes, she is toxic. But it's one of those where, is she as bad as some? Absolutely not. But when it comes down to it, if you can't accept guidelines from your employer, it is what it is. And if we can't have the character that we wanted to replace Boseman as the character, then we need to figure out another way. And that's potentially by just replacing him.
You know what? It just made me think, as much as people were saying, hey, give Killmonger, the Panther role. They could have flipped it there in this alternate universe.
I was actually going to suggest that. I was just like, well, what if we had the Killmonger version in the Illuminati?
Right?
But I think he's actually busy. To be fair, I do think he's actually busy filming stuff because Michael B. Jordan is one of the greatest modern day actors of our day.
Yeah. But that would have been kind of like a way to make that homage. And also, you know what? Here, we gave it to you. You finally asked for it. But like you said, we're going to move past that because Wanda's taking all of these cats out. So anyway, so those are just some little other nitpicky things that just kind of yeah. So let's talk about, I guess, positive things. And then also, again, we're kind of been going back and forth about that kill. Or do we want to just talk about those kills? Wanda going off, losing her mind and killing all these introductions that happen. And then the way she did it. I will, if you're okay, as I've said in every episode that we've ever done, I have never stood on a soapbox before. Of course. So let's talk about parental discretion here for a second, because there's a lot of misinformation, and I'm going to call it misinformation when it comes to the concept of horror films. Raimi is, of course, most people who are his legitimate, and I'm going to use, I hate using real fans, but most of them who have followed his career, so I'm going to say legitimate fans, have been fans of his work since well before Spider-Man. Many of us have watched Evil Dead, so that's why many of us were hoping that Bruce Campbell would come back as Ash. Ash is a Marvel character. Check out Ash. Check out Evil Dead versus Marvel Zombies. Definitely, it's actually a really fun book. Please do it. But most of us have known Raimi for a long time. Him going straight down the middle of tongue-in-cheek comedy and horror is something that's it just comes naturally to him. So this was, no matter how you rip apart this film, if you love it, if you hate it, this is one of the most Raimi films that he's done in like the past 20 years. But it was not horror. Parents, please read reviews. Take each piece that you read and put how you know your child will handle it. There were incredibly graphic deaths in this film. Almost no blood because it's rated PG-13. But none of this would be considered horror. Were there some jump scares? Sure. Were there a couple of moments with zombies? Yeah. But if your child can play a video game where someone gets shot in the head, no blood, once again, like maybe a T, then your child can probably handle this film. It is not horror. Well, they probably will jump during, a walkout, but pay attention to your child. If your child is 8 or 9 and you don't think that they can handle someone being cut in half, then don't go see this film. Not yet. They can come back. And this goes across the board for entertainment. Today is Free Comic Book Day. Your child should not be picking up the Zenoscope free book. They shouldn't be. That is rated mature. Just like films, comics have ratings, TV shows have ratings, video games have ratings. Please pay attention to what you are giving your child, what you are bringing them to. Comic books are for everybody. Comic book movies are for everybody, but there's still a rating on purpose. Please pay attention to that. And from that, I'm going to step back and stop complaining because I loved it. I am a Raimi fan. My husband is a super Raimi fan. So I appreciated the deaths. They were, oh my God, were the deaths glorious. Yo, so can we start with Black Bolt?
Oh my God. I could feel
just to kick that off. Yes. My daughter and her friend were like the you could feel it. It was palpable. The entire audience. What? They lost their shit. And then it went from there, just like one after the other. And like, wow.
I will say that Reed's death was kind of, knowing Raimi is cheesy, knowing he can be pretty cheesy.
That was a cheese, but it was.
I felt like that was such a cheesy death in comparison to the other 4. Like the other 4 had great deaths.
Yes.
But
that pop though at the end, it was like
that was a fun. Like shit. Pop. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a party favor. Like she was turning him into like strips, and then party favor pop. He's done.
The line before though. Oh my God.
Oh, most beast line ever. Can we Say the line. Beast line. Savage.
Is their
Straight
mother
savage.
still alive? Is their mother still alive? Then they will have someone to love them. What the fuck?
You know it was over. It's a wrap, son. It's a wrap. You're done.
Reed should have run. And you even saw it on his face, like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yo.
But also, that means that they're going to bring in the future academy.
Oh yeah, the whole Baxter Foundation, all of that. With Christine being a
then,
member of that and part of the multi. Yeah, all of those elements from that.
Future Foundation. Cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Future Academy.
So
I'm excited though. Because it's what's really cool about small little Easter eggs like that is that it's showing a lot like Spider-Man. We're not getting their origins anymore. We've seen it. We've done it. They're giving us the kids. They're giving us family. They're giving us things that really only comic book fans have ever been able to absorb. They're giving it to a mass audience, and it's just so cool. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. Just so good. The fight between her and Professor X.
Oh my God.
And then we got to see those classic X-Men cartoon moments where he went up to, his head, and then we saw a little bit of action blare of him using his mind powers, and then that fight, and then eventual snap of the neck.
It's so much of that you could feel, and it just okay. So I don't know if you've noticed this lately, and I'm sorry that this is kind of out of the blue. Have you noticed that more people are willing to give commentary throughout the film since the pandemic? Because they aren't used to coming and being in public anymore. So they start talking and loudly through films. This is the second one in a row. I loved the Batman. I loved it. And the second time I saw it was absolutely destroyed by kids, technically just kids being kids.
Yeah.
But they were giving commentary the entire time. And then in this film, the entire time, the people beside us were talking at normal level the entire time.
Oh, fuck that.
Then the people behind me were also doing it. But I will say, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just because people are used to seeing films at home. I get it, but it's actually really, really disrespectful to the other people in the audience. I will say though, the funniest bit of commentary that this kid next to me gave was during the Professor X moment, and you see Xavier, who's in theory hasn't stood up in about 40 years, standing and going, like he's looking around, and the kid next to me goes, "Nice pants." Professor X rocking some Gucci in the middle of a freaking mind moment, like stuck in someone's brain.
That's funny.
The entire theater. It's supposed to be a very, very, very serious moment, and the entire theater just cracks up. And I'm like, I'm really hating you for the commentary throughout the film, but I will give you that one, kiddo. I will give you that one.
OMG. I would have, that would have got me a little bit. Still would have been annoyed as fuck, but yeah. So, man, that was an awesome moment. Great to see that. And I love the artistic nature of how that was done too. Plain white, mind arena type setting, her under rubble. Then this red scarlet mist happens.
Mm-hmm.
So well done. That was great.
And it was so reminiscent of WandaVision because it was basically him in a very simple television set, like screening set. And it was really great. It was a really good moment. It was a really good jump scare, even though and it was so rainy because you knew something was coming. You knew it was there. You're scooching closer and closer and closer. And you're like, oh my God, shit. Okay. And then comes Professor X. And it's just, it was great. It was a great moment.
Yeah. So there was another favorite moment that wasn't tied to this scene that I'm trying to remember. But what are some of your positives? And maybe I'll find myself in some of yours. Because there's something I wanted to bring up that I really liked, but I can't remember at the moment.
So what was really cute was when they were, what's the name of the fucking book? The Good Book. What's it called? The Good Book.
The Vishanti.
Yes, the Book of Vishanti. It was when it showed the star and you really understood that it was always going to be America. I thought that was a really cute moment because even Doctor Strange is like, Yep. And then of course you've got you've got Pizza Ball Papa, Bruce Campbell.
Papa. Yeah.
That very last scene, him going all great. Okay, I'm going to tell you another story from my viewing. So that the final scene happens, and of course it's very Ferris Bueller. That's the whole point of it.
I'll tell you mine too, tied to that, because there was a moment tied to that last scene that I have to see.
So there's Ferris Bueller, and of course everyone's kind of hoping that it's Deadpool too, like something's going to happen with Deadpool. And behind me, the entire, like at the beginning, some kid's like, is that the Evil Dead guy? Is it Evil Dead, or is it the Night of the Living Dead? And me sitting there like walking down like, Evil Dead, is Evil Dead, is Evil Dead. But this kid really loudly at the bottom, I think it was the parent, which is like, ha ha ha, ha, it's like Ferris Bueller, ha 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 ha. And their kid looks at them, and for some reason, the entire audience went quiet at that moment. As we're walking out of the theater, the kid goes, "What's Ferris Bueller?" And you could just feel everyone just go, "Oh my God, we're so old."
Right? Yeah.
Great scene.
So that being the last scene, right? Everybody, I guess, is still expecting more goodness. So like, they're like, who is this person? Clea. They obviously could tell who that character was going to be, somebody significant. But then when that last one rolled up, the people behind me, not when I saw it the other day, not at today's screening, when I watched it with my family, but when I was at the screening the other day, the people behind me was like, we waited to the very end just for that one. They were upset with that. Yeah. I'm like, there had to be a conclusion with that. And obviously, so they were upset that was all that we had, with that. It was just that conclusion to what happened with Bruce Campbell. Yeah. It's over for them. Cause I was like, that was awesome. That's hilarious. It finished the joke.
This is a statement to any child, any person, any human who is out there in the universe. Do yourself a favor and watch fucking B films. Watch B and C and even some F. Watch some B films.
Yeah. Like,
you are missing out on great, incredible, wonderful art. If you do not know who Bruce Campbell is, you do not need to know his filmography. You don't need to watch everything. But if you don't know who Bruce Campbell is and how that was just one of the most Bruce Campbell things that has ever been seen on anything ever, you are missing out on incredible film. Yeah. Incredible film.
Yeah. And they were so upset that it was a female. She was telling her boyfriend, I guess, I don't know, whatever it was. But like, we waited all the way just for this, that last, Yeah. I was like, yo, that was awesome. That was a great, tongue in cheek moment. Like, yes, it's over now. Leave. It makes sense.
Get the fuck out. That's what they said.
Yes. And it was over for his part that with what happened. Come on. I hate the world. It was one of those moments I was like, I just hate this. I just hate people. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, that's hilarious.
I'll even put this. I know this is not DC. We aren't talking about the Batman. It's the same exact feeling about people who are bitching about Robert Pattinson the entire time. If you have only seen him in the goddamn Batman movies, one, you've actually never seen a Harry Potter film because he's in those too. But if you have never seen him outside of the fucking Twilight film before you saw the Batman, you are disrespecting him as an actor. Like, one, you should never suspect. That's why I'm so excited that, once again, I'm not going to say her first name, but Miss Gomez. That's why I'm not saying that I didn't like her as an actor. She has potential. And it is going to be so exciting to watch her grow into that.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Don't disrespect people like that. That's just mean.
Real talk. Yeah. Like, come on now. Other positives. Besides positives, and if you've already listened to yours, I'm not sure, but one of the scenes that I want to kind of have talk to you about was when we were switching from universe to universe, and how we were seeing them go through all that, and did any of those? Were you fan casting? What was that? Oh, was that from that? Oh, that's noir. Marvel universe there. That's future 2099 universe right there. What did you pick up on? Any predictions there? Or are you in the Paint universe?
They hopped through the Spider-Verse. They went to the animated version. They went to the Spider-Verse. We saw Noir. We saw everything. Here's a moment that I didn't even see because my husband fucking distracted me the entire time. Did you notice at the door before everything happened, when they were burying dead Doctor Strange, that the door at the top of that apartment building said Stacy on it?
I remember seeing that now that I think about it. Yes.
Like, there was so many pieces. This film is like Easter egg fucking heaven.
Yeah.
And that scene where they're jumping through universes it'll be great when it finally hits streaming, because you can pause and be like, which one is that one? Which one is that one? Which one?
Yeah. So yeah, like the nerd in me was working on overtime at that moment, because I was like, okay, we know as nerds, like we're gonna see something there. So okay, yeah, boom. All right. Oh, boom. It's like, yeah. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And I was just curious if you're kind of doing the same fan casting each segment type piece.
I don't think you would be, and I don't believe in real fans, but I do think you would not be a Marvel fan if you weren't trying to speculate which each one of those universes are. So,
definitely don't want to go to the Paint version. That was interesting. I was like,
we went to Spider-Ham's home turf. I saw that because you heard the music in the background. I do believe so. I do believe we went to the Animalverse.
All right. So any other points that you want to bring up real quick before we get up out of here?
Let's talk about the finale real quick, because it actually one of my favorite scenes.
Yes. And where we think we're going to go from here.
Sure. So Raimi, of course, and I'm just going to keep bringing up Raimi, because once again, this is a very fucking Raimi film.
So would you want Raimi for the next one? Right?
So I'm going to actually respond to that with another statement from another person in the audience, because I think this really, really emphasized the truth about the film. Once again, it does not matter your opinion, left or right, good or bad, and all the pieces in between, because everything is a spectrum. When I walked out of the film, there was like a group of kids, and one of them was like, okay, tell me, so you told me about your favorite, what did you think of the film? And he said very clearly, it was absolutely a Doctor Strange film. And you know what? If we walk out of a film where someone says it is absolutely a Doctor Strange film, then yes, I think I would feel comfortable with Raimi continuing with the character. Because no matter which way you looked at it, if he made the film that we were expecting, then yes.
I'm with that. If there was a character that I think kind of symbolizes his type of technique and style that would work with that kind of what he brings to the table, it would be Doctor Strange.
And with the fact that the rumor is that, it's never been denied or confirmed. I mean, they do have mentioned Illuminati several times, even before this, that the fact that the next film would be Doctor Strange and the Illuminati, we've already seen him kill kill both figuratively and realist and real, kill the Illuminati. Let's see him do it again. Let's see him absolutely blow our minds. God damn it, the goddamn puns. I did not mean to do that on purpose. Poor Black Bolt.
So good.
I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't sound. If he could do the Illuminati well, even with the small things that we would like to see change, bring in Namor, we can. I think that he could do it well. I do think he could do it well.
All right, there we go.
Sorry,
so
on a tangent.
All right, so moving forward, Clea. So you're saying Clea Illuminati. So obviously now Clea is going to partner into that, and then I think also it just leaves things hanging. I thought, leading into this, again where we're heading, we know Kang was introduced in Loki. Just some of these other threads. With them, one of the things I was kind of half wondering if they were going to make an appearance was Shang-Chi and what's her name's Aquafina's character. I forgot her character's name, because at the end of Shang-Chi, you know, we know that Wong came to talk to them. So I thought they might have been hanging out at the temple real quick. And we might have seen that kind of meet up. But there's still a lot of build up, you know, as we build up into this next big, you know, whether it be the new Avengers and they're all part of that, or how all of this inner working is going to play.
It was
I'm
nice.
Curious.
It was nice. One big complaint that I'm sure you've seen it, is the fact that people were upset that there weren't enough cameos.
But then there was too many cameos in a way, don't you feel too? Like it's yes and no.
Yes and no. Like personally, I feel like that there could have potentially been more. Everyone was expecting Deadpool to show up in some dumbass way.
Yeah.
And I still would not be surprised if we get, the film was so short, I would not be surprised if we got a 3-hour long director's cut. But people were upset that there weren't enough cameos because there was actually a story. I'm okay having less cameos and having more questions that need answering so that we can get more films than us having a film just of cameos. So yes, I did agree. I was kind of like, why isn't Shang-Chi there? Like, he was talking to Wong at the end of his own film. So why isn't he there? At the same time, he could have been one of everyone there who was there to fight died. And we do not need him dying yet.
Yeah.
So it's okay. He wasn't there. It was weird a little bit. But we also have very open-ended question, like, what the fuck was Wong doing with him then?
Exactly. And now I'm thinking, because America Chavez is with Wong, we'll see Wong and Chavez. Well, obviously Chavez will be with Wong. Mm-hmm. And if Wong's with Shang-Chi, we could see them all together, which will be cool. Mm-hmm. And that also got me thinking straight up because we know Chavez is so fucking powerful. What if we're going to get Shang-Chi traveling through the multiverse with them part of like this one, like super team in a way? Like Shang-Chi, you know, there's a greater important aspect of him, and he has this, you know, universal bands, you know, now like the 10 rings. How much more badass we can see Shang-Chi doing and getting more experience than helping Wong and America go to different universes figuring out these problems. I don't know, that just leads to cool shit that I'm just fan casting in my head. Yeah,
definitely could. But now all I'm thinking about is Sonic and how it's going to be a little bit too Sonic-y at that point.
I get your point there. But I know there's more. I'm trying to think of more, but in the same time, we've gone a lot longer than I was thinking we were going to, because we actually got another review we're going to record for y'all. Any more before we leave up out of here?
I did. What I was going to go to before I went on the tangent about Sam Raimi and stuff. That moment where he takes the spirits and controls them. Like he makes them cool. His freaking game.
Yeah.
Wanda we really didn't talk about Wanda as the villain at all. And I think that's okay, other than the fact that she was cliche. Yeah. And that being like him taking over the spirits was like Raimi going, haha, I control the undead. And it was just like, that is the most Raimi bit of this film, and it was great. I loved it. And then of course the last thing out, talking about, not trying to go too deep into Wanda as a character, but that moment where she got the moral of the story.
Oh, yeah.
That was it was a very beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment for America. It was a beautiful moment for her, America accepting her abilities, and Wanda going, oh shit, this book really did take control of me. It wasn't necessarily that her kids will be loved by their real parent. It is, I really fucked up with this book.
Yeah.
And that was a really incredible moment.
Yeah. I saw you make a post, I think, about it without spoiling, about how there was that moment or that look. I think you didn't make a post. I want to say you made a post about like, there's when the child's eyes, when they looked or whatever.
Oh no, that was Moon Knight, which will be our other review.
Oh, okay. But I think it works there too. Okay. Because there's that moment, you know, when they're all looking at each other. And then again, where the quote unquote good Wanda, the mama Wanda, said to bad Wanda that, you know, it's going to be all right. You know, that as a, you know, I'm a, you know, as a father right now, like that fucked me up. And it was just, whew.
You
And
felt
it just, I wanted so much again, like you're saying, going back to my earlier statements, I wanted so much more for Wanda, but this was how the arc was going to finalize out. And again, I know you think she's still alive, but it hurts.
But to put it back into perspective of why I think she's still alive, Wanda needs her redemption story after this, and Wanda deserves her redemption story after this, because she is the type of character, whether you're looking at comics or you're looking at film, Wanda has always been the type of person that is like, I have a reason for doing things. It is either good or bad, but I now have to get back to my personal equality there. And I think that she's going to come back, and it's going to be her redemption story where she's going to go in. We're going to see her destroying these books of evil because she needs to fix what she fucked up. So
I think this is her swan song. I really think it is. I know we're getting an Agatha, so we'll see her return. They did say we're getting that, and I think you're right. I think we also did see we're getting a WandaVision 2, but I think that'll be a different Wanda. I don't know. I think this is it, but we'll see. We'll see.
How much money are we putting down on this? You put $2? I'll put $2.
Yeah.
I'll put $2 and it's going to be the original version.
I'll spend more money. It'll be a dinner or something. I'll do that. Okay. We'll do some Korean barbecue, and I got you. There we go. That'll be a real, all you can eat. I got you. We'll put it like that.
Because I'm a small woman.
So those are our thoughts on Doctor Strange. Was it madness? Yes. Did it fit everything we wanted? No. But was it pleasing and entertaining? Yes. I'm still going mad about it. There's still so many thoughts. But we've already gone for almost an hour and a half. And
really? Oh my God.
We've got more to record for y'all. So there we go. Heather, how can they reach out to you and with their thoughts about Doctor Strange?
You can follow me on the tweeters at NerdIsAHeather and on Instagram and TikTok at HeatherIsANerd. Tell me all of the ways I am wrong about all the comic things and have at it.
There you go. For me, it's the Legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Of course, Show Pal Show, AAPI Toy Heroes, and here at the NRW and Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Let us know how you feel in the comments below about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yo, what's going on? This is the NRW where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm here with Heather. Don't hurt him of New Release Wednesday. I can't even talk right. Let me do that again one more time. Brap, 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 brap. And a 1, 2, 3. Yo, what's going on? This is the NRW where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm here with the amazing Heather. Don't hurt him from Heather. Oh my God. Let me talk right. One more time. Third time is the charm. Here we go, y'all. This is going to be great. I'm going to just put this at the end. This is going to be special bonus of how we mess up when we record these. So here we go. Last time, third time's the charm. In a 1, 2, 3.